Hey guys, I'm Maha Mechanic, and today we're going to be replacing the head gasket in this Porsche 944. So let's get into it. So definitely be split up into more than one part. Right now I'm thinking about 4 parts, 2 parts for like removal, and 1 or 2 parts for reinstallation. So, because there's a lot of stuff needed to be done to actually get to the head gasket. Pretty much, see this right here? That's got to come off. So everything above here has got to be disconnected, taken off, and whatnot. So we're going to start first. The first part of disassembly right now. So you're going to want to first start off by removing the intake pieces, specifically just the air box, the J-boot, and the air flow meter. I have already done that because I was getting a shipment in from Plyhammer's Parts, and if you've seen this engine before on the channel, it was not stock. This is the turbo manifold. I actually have, here, I'll show you guys, powder coated, regular, naturally aspirated intake manifold, powder coated valve cover that looks sick, and valve cover pieces. They sent me the wrong one of this. This one will be like silver and red, just like that one is. I also removed the pieces for the timing cover or timing belt covers right there. Anyway, if you did have the regular air box and everything in here, you would remove screws from here and wherever else attaches the, you can see it over there, the air box to the car here. So 2 over here, and remove some hose clamps and stuff. That's what this is, and these electrical connectors go to the throttle position sensor and, I should say throttle position sensor and airflow meter. So I'm going to remove this just so I can have better access to the fan bolts. Just remove the fan so we can have better access at the timing belts when we replace those and take those off and everything, so it'll be nice and easy to do those. So let's start by removing these 2 bolts here, or wait, looks like there's 3. Start moving those and get that out of them. So they're 10mm bolts, so let's remove them. So there we go. Now we can set this aside. Now we got all the intake pieces away. We can remove the fan in there so that we can have more room to work. So the fan bolts are 10mm as well. There's one on this side. So there are also 3 bolts on the bottom, just like on the top. There's going to be one on the corner, one in the middle, and one on the other corner. So you're going to want to remove those, and then we can pull the fan housing out. So now that you're under the car, you can more easily see where the bolts are actually positioned. They're the same spots on the top as well. So just going to remove these, and then we can remove the fan. So now that we got those bolts removed, we're going to remove our connections for our fan, and mine are not going to look like yours because I don't know what someone did to the fan connections on my car. But there's one, and there's the other one. They are zip tied to every possible spot on here, so I'm going to remove those zip ties and remove this fan shroud. Yeah. She's wanting to come out. So, yeah, you're not gonna have to do this, but I'm gonna have to remove these zip ties and then I'll be able to take it off. And there we go. Set this aside. Next thing you're gonna wanna do is remove the drain plug for the radiator. And then you're gonna wanna, yeah, of course, drain the radiator. So we can remove that drain plug, get a catch can and whatnot underneath here, and start draining that radiator. So I'm just gonna get some pliers on here because I can't do it by hand. Well, I didn't expect it to come shooting out like that. I am wet now. So yeah, that'll come out shooting a lot faster than you expect. Yay, I smell like coolant. Yippee! So I used a little plastic pry tool here that's got a sharp edge to remove the gaskets because they were stuck on there pretty hard. Anyway, remove those gaskets, set everything over here, and now we can start by, first of all, you want to start removing the accessory belts down in there. You can see there's a tensioner right there for the power steering pump. And since mine is an AC delete car, the alternator should be up here, but it is down where the AC compressor should be. So there's also another tensioner right there. That one has 17 millimeter jam nuts. This one has, I believe, 13 millimeter jam nuts. Anyway, you're going to want to remove or loosen those, and then remove the accessory belts. Make sure you loosen the pivot point bolts on both of them as well, so they can slide in and out. And after you're done that, you're going to want to remove the 11 10 millimeter bolts that hold in the upper and lower timing belt and balance shaft belt covers. And I have done that already. They're down in there, right there. So once you get those done, we can start removing our distributor, removing these connections. Ooh, that was nice. Just by prying them. And these cables are numbered. I mean, I am making a video to tell where they're coming on and off. But if you don't know which one goes on and which one comes off, just make sure you document it. So number 1 right here is going bottom right. And now we can remove our distributor here. They have little hooks on them like this, and you have to push them in and twist it like 180 degrees to be able to loosen that up. So basically, I'm going to come in here, flathead screwdriver. So you can see how it pushes in there, just that little bit, twist it 180 degrees either way, and there you go. It popped out. So that top is undone. There's also one on the bottom as well. That one has popped out, so this is good to go. Just orient them so that you can remove them. There you go. So if you look at it, let me zoom out. If you look at it, you can see the mechanism on how you have to push it and twist to get them out. I think my distributor rotor is broken, which is very interesting. I honestly don't know how it was firing. On the back of here, there's a set screw that you're going to want to remove. I can't twist it. Actually, no, I can twist it. I'm going to twist the, while I still have the timing belts on, I can twist it and turn the cam so I can get better access to that screw. So let's remove that. Also, one thing I wanted to show you guys is that if you look down in here, cylinder number 3, you can see on that valve that there's some green liquid in there. That's coolant, and that's how I know that there is a head gasket leak. Many symptoms. When I was doing compression tests, the reservoir was overflowing. When I was doing the rod bearings and oil pan gasket, there was coolant dripping from the crank journal. And the compression test was reading very high, which led me to believe that there was coolant in that cylinder. And well, I was right. So yeah, let's get this distributor rotor off. So I've turned the crank enough until this can come up to the top, so I'm gonna guess a 3 millimeter, and I'm right. This set screw and this cap leaf should come off. Let me take that off camera. So I was finally able to get this off. This rotor here was on there like this. It wasn't coming out when I was pulling it, so basically what I had to do was just tap it with a hammer ever so slightly around in a circle, and then I was able to get my hands on it and start twisting it off. Basically, it's not supposed to look like that. Honestly, don't know how this engine was even starting. It must have been arcing like a seriously long arc. As you can see there, it's supposed to be contacting those points. So yeah, right there, it's supposed to be contacting, but it's definitely not. So it must be arcing there, which is not too terribly efficient. This did good. It did good. You know, now it's time to get a new one. So I'm probably going to get a new distributor and rotor, because, you know, distributor is a wearing piece that needs to be replaced every on certain intervals, because they have contact pieces. Well, in this case, you know, I had a Bluetooth contact that was non-existent, but yeah, I think it's pretty good for a new rotor, or a new distributor and rotor. So yeah, back to the task at hand. Now that we got everything out of our way of the cam gear cover, the front gear cam gear cover, I should say, we can remove these 3 bolts, 1, 2, 3, and slide that bad boy off. So just 10 millimeter bolts. Shiny. And there we go. Now we got our front cam gear cover off. Set that aside. So, well, now that we got it off, I can see some rips and tears. Big rips and tears in my timing belt. So I'm glad the guy that sold to me told me that they just did the timing belts, because they definitely did not. And so I'm glad I'm finding this out before they actually break, that I need timing belts. We can align our engine to top dead center. And to do that, We're going to need a 24 millimeter socket on the pulley. And if you come back to the rear of the engine above the flywheel, you can see a little hole right there. We will turn that until it says OT, but make sure that is in cahoots with this mark. You want the cam gear to line up with that notch, both marked in what looks like red pen. You want those to line up. So what might be top dead center for the pistons will be top dead center for the exhaust stroke on the camshaft. So you just want to make sure that top dead center on the for the pistons, which is where I believe cylinder number 1 is at its highest point in the compression stroke. So just so you know, the camshaft gear spins once every 2 rotations of the crankshaft. If you guys did not know that already. Now that we got the cam gear close to lined up with the timing mark, I'm going to look down in the cylinder, and that's a good sign. Or not the cylinder, the valve is closed, it's not open. So that should mean that we are almost at top dead center. At this point, you can remove our starter motor here. Not quite sure where that one's hanging out there, but there is one bolt on this side, one bolt on that side, and then one big connector there and a smaller one right there. So you're going to want to remove those, make sure you don't have the battery hooked up, and you're going to want to install the flywheel lock once you have it set at top dead center. I'm still waiting on my flywheel lock to come in, but when it comes in, I will do that and continue with the removal. So let's get this starter off. So it's a 19 millimeter, or at least on mine it is. Just a little update here. I got the starter out, but I did have to cut the connection on the ground wire there. That's less than ideal because the nut was stripped, or the nut, they tightened it down too hard and stripped the stud so that the nut would just sit there and spin. It wouldn't come off. So yeah, I've also, with the help of someone, I got the engine to top dead center, which is pretty difficult if you're going to do it by yourself. But if you look down in there, I don't know if you can see, but there's a little notch. Let me zoom in for you. There's a little notch right there. So right there, you can see on top of the flywheel, there's a little notch, and underneath it, it says OT. I have lined that notch up with that little divot point thing right there. So yeah, the engine's at top dead center now. But if you come over here and look at the cam gear, you can see that it's not at top dead center, or it's not at that timing mark. So my idea is that since I think this is all the modifications done to this car have been for race purposes, I believe that someone advanced the timing on the cam gear, or yeah, advanced the timing on the camshaft to gain higher end torque numbers. and that's why that's not lining up. All that really matters though is that the crank is at top dead center. We can adjust the timing on the camshaft, but now you're going to want to install the flywheel lock on the point that you just removed the starter from. I do not have mine yet. I'm still waiting on it to come in the mail, so I will cut to when that is done. I'm also going to put tape on the head here where the intake manifolds are, or the intake holes are, just so that nothing accidentally falls in there. Even though I'm getting it cleaned and machined at a machine shop, I just don't want to get anything scratched up on there, so I'm going to do that now. So that's where I'm going to leave it for this video, part one of this video, I should say. I will have the second part up in a week, maybe 2 weeks. Subscribe so you know when part 2 is coming. Get notified, turn that bell on, just so you know when part 2 is out. And yeah, if you found this video informative, please be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel for more. And remember, no matter your experience or your skill level, keep on improving.